I build WordPress microsites in the most cost-efficient and easy to duplicate method, and I'm about to show you the entire process, so follow along. My name is Josh, and I own a one-person marketing agency, and I've been using WordPress and the power of subdomains to build these microsites that act as SaaS, or software as a subscription, to scale my business. So if you own a personal brand, a small business, or an agency, or you want to start some of those, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to show you just the power of subdomains, how I use them, why I use them, and I'm going to end the video showing you a real life use case where I built microsites for clients, I sell them, and year by year by year, they come back and pay me, and I've been scaling my business like that. First, let's just quickly talk about subdomains and why they're so powerful. So a subdomain is a connection of an original domain. So whatever that domain is, you can add subdomains often for free. It just depends on what your hosting is. Now I use Hostinger, and for not a lot of money, I'm able to build up to 300 subdomains. This is important because if you want to build microsites, you do not want to be purchasing a new domain every single time. You can harness the power of that subdomain, customize a microsite, and sell that site for less, because let's be honest, the world is getting more and more competitive. Everybody's selling dirt cheap websites, and if you can save some money and still offer a great service, you're going to want to do that. The website is evolving, let's be honest. People don't have any patience anymore. What you say, how you say it, and where you say it is by far more important than a fancy over-designed website. It's about the utility. I build websites like apps that look like apps, that feel like apps, and that just exist off of subdomains or just a domain. And it simplifies the process, and it focuses on what you can actually offer a business, a brand, or if you're an agency, you can duplicate this to offer it to clients as well. I call it the ABG Portal, and it's basically just a dynamic website. I believe in simplicity, simple contrast, small little animations, and focusing on marketing knowledge. So that's where the copywriting, good hooks, good headlines, focusing on target audiences, knowing your value ladder, displaying everything in a quality landing page is going to go a long way. Why a subdomain is also nice is because it's going to allow you to focus that small microsite on a specific target audience and create a landing page or a management system that serves one exact purpose. We do not need large websites that do 15 different things, impossible to navigate, when we can harness the power of these subdomains, make smaller microsites serving one particular purpose, and you can charge a very affordable price for that. Clients are happy, your business will scale, and everybody wins. If you're new here, again, I already mentioned my name is Josh, and I own a one-person marketing agency, and my channel is all about learning WordPress. Not just WordPress, but the marketing skills that go along with it. And if you bridge the gap between technical skills and marketing knowledge, you're going to be able to build your own personal brand, small business website, or even start a small little agency where you make a little bit of money on the side. So here are 3 ways that I use subdomains for my business, and not all will apply to you, but some of them might. The first way is just to build a sales funnel. The reality is a web page should be a landing page. It should be there to convert brand new visitors. It should not just display all of your services. It should be focused on specific target audiences where you want to attract new clients. And a subdomain is perfect for separating things out into smaller target audiences. I do this for one of my tournament hosting packages I offer. I build websites for tournaments, and I include a little web app so that the tournament hosters can update the website without actually logging into the website. And so I've built a small little subdomain where I just showcase what I can offer, how I can help people, and direct them to contact me. This would be perfect for sports teams management, small businesses, personal brands, or anything where you just have this specific target audience in mind. The second way that I use subdomains is just for website mockups for future potential clients. I create a subdomain, I create a sample layout, I do a little bit of branding, I showcase what I can build, how I can build it, and how I believe it will help a client. And then I just send them the link. They can check it all out. And if a client can see potentially what they're going to receive before buying, they're much more likely to buy from you. And if a client isn't interested, no worries. I didn't invest any money in a domain. I can just delete that subdomain and go back searching for another client. They're just really useful to pop up temporary websites or permanent websites to help existing clients. The final way that I use subdomains, and this is the one that I sell as a subscription service, is a web-based management system. The reality here is even just basic communication is a disaster in today's day and age. So if you are managing anything, for example, a wedding or a sports season or a tournament, it's just always easier to run it through a website. All of your important information is there, all of your documentation, all of the contacts, and you can build out automation and any sort of custom workflows for that client, for the target audience with ease. And that's what I'm going to be showcasing later in this video. The example I'm about to show you is what I built for track and field coaches. So I secured a domain, yxztrack.net, that I used as my initial sales funnel. This is where I direct all track and field coaches that may benefit from this. I've got a landing page template that I follow, and they're able to see exactly how I can help them. But in addition to that, that domain also acts as the place that I build out my custom management systems for these coaches. I use subdomains, and each subdomain is actually the school the coach is running. So I will build out the school name attached to yxztrack.net, and then I sell these to individual track and field teams. I've got 3 going right now, all for $200 a year. No, that is not a lot of money, but when you factor in that now that they're in, they're going to keep coming back, that's $600 every single year. Once I build the system, it stays live, they come back, and again, I'm not investing in any domain. It's just an attachment of my current domain, which is serving its purpose as my sales funnel landing page, and then I just build out those subdomains. In addition to that, I've got another subdomain where I built out my template. So I basically have my web-based management system customized for these track and field teams on a template. I can easily secure a new school, migrate my template website over to their website, style it up, adjust it, and sell it. And it does not take a lot of time. Now, I know this is just one use case, but again, if you think of a lot of small businesses or anyone that manages anything, you can use this idea. You can secure a domain or use a generic one. This is why I own ABG Portal.ca, abgportal.net, is because it's just a portal domain, and I can use the subdomain to build out a custom website, a custom web-based management system, or just a landing page for a client and sell it for cheap. For example, I've just secured a client that wants a website built for their lawn company. So they don't have a lot of cash flow, but because I can build out a subdomain, nice little personal landing page, it makes that business look more professional, and they do not have to invest in a lot of money. Why it's perfect for track and field is because it's a disaster to manage a track and field season. There are team registrations, there are mini-meet registrations, there's so much communication, how to pay fees, how to follow registration guidelines, so much information back and forth, and tons of these coaches are just doing this by paper still. And what a disaster, because now you have to take that paper, type things up, and what my system does, it's a web-based management system. we post out these registration forms. I built out automation so that it goes to a sheet for them. They can then manage the registrations, the meet entries, post all of the information online. And again, it's easy to duplicate. I do all of this on WordPress Full Site Editor because the block patterns are amazing. They're really easy to duplicate. They're really easy to style, and they're really easy to build your websites that look like apps. And for a use case like this, that's all I need. I don't need fancy designs. I need styled websites that serve a purpose. And I'm going to showcase everything in the next part of this video. I'm going to show you the schools that I am working with. I'm going to show you what those websites look like. I'm going to show you the analytics for how many people are using them. And it's actually pretty impressive. And then I'm just going to show you how you could kind of create something like this for yourself. Perfect use case, again, could be maybe for a hairdresser. So you could build out a simple hairdressing booking domain that you could sell to hairdressers who want to start to implement some booking or scheduling into their business. And then you could build out custom subdomains where they can just send their clients to that subdomain to register, and their lives are easier. And every single microsite you sell, you're making money yearly, and it will really help you scale or make a little bit of money on the side. Okay? So I hope you enjoy the next part where I just showcase what it looks like. Keep this in mind and reach out if you have any questions. I'd love to help you. I have been learning digital marketing for years. I've been learning WordPress for years, and WordPress on a system like Hostinger is by far the most cost-efficient method. You get up to 300 subdomains on a very affordable hosting plan, and it just allows you to build, and learn and adjust for not a big investment up front. Again, my name is Josh, and always be grinding. Okay. First thing I want to showcase here is the sales funnel landing page. The main domain is yxctrack.net, and this is where I focus on my target audience. My target audience is going to be YXC track and field coaches. So I've got copywriting and a whole bunch of resources that make their lives better. And I show value and I give the value right on my main landing page. Okay, so you can see here that I've got the meet schedules posted, and I've got a coach portal where I give an automated Google sheet that will help calculate some birth dates and stuff, because track and field is just a disaster from a management perspective. Okay, I'm just going to quickly scroll through here. You see my bullet copy. I'm just following a very generic template for how to build a landing page. Here, this little section is called the trust and authority. Basically, I've been coaching for 20 plus years. I've been helping with track and field for 20 plus years. So I am showing people that I know what I'm doing and that I have experience here. And then I show some of the features. And at the very end, I show my value stack of what people are going to get. The beauty here, I guess before I change gears here, so I'll just show you that on the meet schedules, these are digital meet schedules, which are really nice so that when people are at these meets, they can just load up, they can open it on their phone, and they have access to what the meet schedules are. And in the coach portal, I've got an age calculator here, and then I've got this automated Google sheet that people can download. So I'm giving value here, I'm attracting people, and I don't even care if they want to buy my system. It's all here. I'm just trying to help people manage their track and field team better. But the beauty is that not only is this domain my main sales funnel or landing page, it actually also hosts each individual track team that I sold my system to. So I have got my STJ, St. Joe's School, I have got my Bethlehem School, and I have got my Bedford School. Now you will notice that each of these are very similar. You can see I've got all of the mini meets, the city championship, and the team roster on all of my pages. But I've also got some subtle differences. So this coach wanted to have a weekly calendar, a weekly memo, and a welcome letter posted on their management system, where the other coaches didn't necessarily want to do that. This coach also went with field personal bests and track personal bests. And right on this homepage is right where we actually embed the registration forms to start the season. Without using digital, it's an absolute disaster to collect names, to get them entered into systems. And so my management system or my hub or portal works perfect for this, where I could showcase Bethlehem. Bethlehem's coach doesn't really want to post all of those. They do a lot of the communication in-house, and I'm okay with that. And then St. Joe's, also a little bit different. They like to just post their weekly reminders each week. Okay. So even though there's similarities, there are also differences. I customize them, I modify them, and then they stay live. And next year, just like software as a subscription, they're coming back to pay me, and we're going to tweak things and use it every single year. The beauty, again, these are all built off of the same domain, yxctrack.net. I have built out another subdomain template where I just built out a shell. And this is a shell that I wanted to be able to use so that I could migrate this into a new build, style it up for the specific school, and then go ahead and modify it the way that they want. So I've got all of this built in my template, each of the meets with the registration portals, and then I've just got a generic home page here where we embed the registration form, and then I've got the resources here for them to copy, and we're off to the races. So this is just showing you how one domain can actually be used for several websites, and you can be selling each smaller mini website and not paying for the additional hosting or the additional domain on the back end. I'm going to switch over to the back end and just show you what it looks like. So this is Hostinger. I use Hostinger for all of my hosting, and I use WordPress full site editor because if you look back here, these are built like web apps. They look good on a phone. So you could come over here and you could see, you meet for example, you can see the registrations. Athletes use this to confirm their registrations. It looks great on a phone. And my designs don't have to be fancy. They're just straightforward. This is why block patterns are amazing. So back to Hostinger here. You can see each of these come up as separate websites. There's Bedford, there's Beth, there's my template. And as I learned better ways and updated methods for the season, I came over here and I updated this template so that next year I can migrate the new one in and we're off to the races. So here they all are. There's my main landing page. Here are all of my subdomains. This is just one domain that I own. I pay $20 a year, and the hosting is great because Hostinger allows up to 300 subdomains for free. So if you're interested in becoming kind of a digital marketing agency or just hammering a niche target audience, this system is great. Next, I want to show some of the analytics here. So for each of my separate systems over the last 60 days, I want to show you some of the numbers just to show you that these, in fact, get lots of views. It makes the track coach's life so much better, and all off of one domain and one generic hosting plan. So you can see here the St. Joe's track and field team, I think, had like 200 athletes. So here are the data again. I helped register 1,209 total meet entries. There are 412 athletes that registered. Combined, we have 4,102 visitors and over 18,000 views among all of these websites combined. So they're used, they're appreciated, I sell them, and it's software as a subscription. So every single year now, these coaches come back to me, they pay me a couple $100. I host, I input the registration forms, I automate things for them, and I'm going to continue to scale this system and many more, because all I have to do is come over to my Hostinger. You can see all my little subdomains that I build, my websites that I build. And if you grab like a generic domain, this is why I own abgportal.ca, and this is why I own abgportal.net, because you can use the name of the subdomain to basically brand up what that mini website is going to be used for, and then I can sell it for much less and make a bigger margin. Another example would be that I'm working on would be just weddings. Instead of sending a million emails, sending letters, you can secure one domain or subdomain for a wedding. You can put your registry up there. You can put all your important information. You can put your guest list. And then you just have to share that link with people. And because it's on a subdomain, I can sell that to people who are having weddings for very cheap. And everybody wins. The people who are planning the wedding, they just have to update the website. All of the guests, all of the visitors just have to check in, and it's the best and most efficient way to communicate. When you take into consideration that it can automate, market, and manage, that's what we're talking about with the ABG portal, baby. Here's a perfect example. You could build out maybe one domain that will help a business handle registrations or scheduling. And then you could add the subdomains where you would build out that little registration system and link it to the client's already existing website. In a perfect world, you would just do it all. You would have one domain, and then you could have the subdomains added for specific purposes. Maybe one of them would be a scheduler, one of them might be to post some of your social media, and it just makes your websites much more efficient, not clunky. And because it's WordPress full site editor, it's lightweight, it's quick. Building this many websites hardly takes up any of my hosting spaces. Okay? So again, if you are interested in learning more about WordPress, learning more about how to market and manage, learning how to build sales funnels, learning how to build all sorts of things website related, give me a like, give me a subscribe. My name is Josh, and don't forget, always be grinding.